Hi, Mad Hug. What? No. Hi. Hi, Princess Amelia. Mad Hug, when were you wanting to do your bit of the stream? Whoa. Something's happening. Oh. You can't see that. But that's not. That's not. Yes. We got a little bit of crosstalk with the music here. I'm playing an incredibly old game. Get in the lobby. Whoa, hang on. Wait. There's too much music going on. How loud is the music? Is it too loud? It sounds like it's too loud. It sounds really loud. There we go. I'm kidding. It's going down. It's going down. Alright, let's check them levels. There we go. Not doing great. Messed up. Much overdue system update. Compy is screwed up to the point that I don't know how to fix it. Oh no. Well, as you know, I am a compy expert. Anyways, this Manhawk wants me to get in the chat, so I guess I'll do that. Hi.
Melody.
Oh, hang on. You're not coming. You're not coming through the right channels.
I noticed.
Okay, you should be good now, I think.
Okay, testing. Okay, so a couple of notes.
Oh,
Bring
I'm
me
sorry
up
to
a
hear that,
bit.
Princess Amelia. I'm really sorry. Hopefully Compy gets better soon. Anyway, what were you saying, Manhawk? A couple of notes.
I'm saying that I'm ready to start right now. Actually.
Okay, question. Can this be wrapped up in 1 hour so I can start playing Lost?
I specifically cleared my schedule an hour earlier to start this earlier.
So what you saying is that we're not playing Lost this week.
I mean, I thought we had an agreement. I thought we had organized ourselves. And you also told me you didn't have much time to stream today, so.
Why didn't I just sort of play something stupid? And it was in 2008. Like, I don't think the series had even finished, so I have no idea what I'm in for. I just found something online. I was like, oh, is there a Lost video game? And yes, there is.
Yes, but I mean, I thought we. Last week,
we won't
said
play Lost.
I was going to try and finish it today so that we could be free from this. I'm sorry. I think there's been a misunderstanding, as always. No, because I tried to communicate with you on occasion, but you only ever talk to me on the day itself.
I stream anything so that I can do the thing. I mean, honestly, it's up to chat. It's whatever chat wants. So, Princess Emilia. Yeah, we'll do your thing. We'll do your thing.
I'll try to go fast. This is the most I had to say was last week, really. But I did a hell of a lot of work this week to try and finish it.
Okay.
Before I
Emilia is
forget.
being unusually quiet. I don't trust it. Lost? I knew that would tantalize you. Oh, I broke
Now
my
let's see,
fingy
where
last
was
week. Lost? Maybe it depends how quickly Mad Hog does his thing. Because I've also got to stay at my. I'm staying in a hotel tonight with my ma because we're clearing the last of my grandma's house. Because it has been sold, and that means that I didn't know this. Apparently, you got to get rid of all the stuff that's in the house and stuff. Otherwise, like the new person that buys it can like totally charge you for that. So, yeah. I've been moving stuff despite my broken fingy. Did I tell you how I broke my finger?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I dropped.
How did that happen?
I dropped a guitar on it.
You dropped a guitar on it?
Yes. I'm not gonna explain
The same
any
you
further.
played that one time?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I'm.
Oh.
What is it? I mean, there are companies that will do that. What? Oh, move stuff out of people's houses, not break people's fingers with guitars, right? Yeah, no, yeah. There are, but my ma is like, nah. She's, I'll make it worth your while, Melody. When we sell this house, by golly. I was like, oh, okay, yes. Well, my finger's still broken, ma. No, she's quite a heavy lady, so she's not doing a lot of lifting. There are also companies that will break your guitar. No! The guitar broke my finger. I didn't break my guitar. My guitar is fine. It's my finger that broke. It's a sturdy guitar.
The finger is more reparable than the guitar, I assume. What finger was it?
Where's my middle finger on my left hand? I took a very funny X-ray.
Oh,
it was
I'm so
very,
sorry.
it was very inappropriate, a very inappropriate X-ray. But the other fingers needed to be out of the way while the X-ray was being taken. So,
Okay, let me just check the stream.
there are also companies that will break your finger. Oh, now you tell me. Where is Princess Amelia? Where's she go? Is she accessing this stream through the broken compy?
Well, I don't know.
And it will
you
be
have
the cover
you have
of
5
Melody's
spectators, so she should be included in there.
The cover of Melody's first album, Outlaw Country, is my broken middle finger. I go true renegade. Anyway, man, get yourself sorted then. If we're gonna do this thing, do it. I'm making a coffee. Right.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't understand a single word. I was checking the stream. You were talking my ear off, so I don't know what did you say?
This is a big cattle. This is a major upgrade for my little travel cattle. What is that? Russell Hobbs? That's a good brand right there. Whoa!
What is happening?
It's got class and style. Russell Hobbs, I take the question.
Is she talking to her furniture?
The grade of the cattle. Instant coffee granules by Euroshopper Corporation. Yes, that is some cheap ass coffee. Yeah, pues some milk and that is all gonna be good. It all goes down the same. You'll have okay, that is a very loud
I
kettle. That is a lot louder than my old kettle. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry,
you
chat.
I was missing half of the context here because I was checking the stream and you were talking
No,
without ever taking a breath,
just talking
and
to
so I
Mr.
don't know what was
Lost.
happening. So for a second there, I thought you had lost your mind and you were just talking to your furniture.
No, I was talking to my appliances. It's completely different.
Okay.
John Lost,
I am
creator of
ready.
Lost. John Lostington sired John Lost. He was the second Lost man of Lost, and it's nice to see my background is still back there. You got Kate, and Saeed, and you got Jack, and Sean, and Hurley.
Don't forget Sawyer.
No, he's not on the boat. I don't know where he is.
Oh,
He should be on
he's
the
probably dead.
Maybe. He's rethinking some life choices.
Okay.
I finished
Okay,
Lost, by the
so-
way. It's actually really good. No, people are
Uh-huh.
wrong. No, people are wrong about the ending. They just didn't understand. They didn't.
No, the ending. No, I don't. No, the ending was fine actually.
No.
Nothing against it.
No, there's a miscomprehension that they were dead the whole time. That's not how it ended. That's what you were thinking. But that's not, like, the show explicitly says that that's not what happened. And even the creators have come out and said that people have not. Poor Melody, she's got brainworms in her. I do not! Y'all don't understand the actual.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. No, it's been a while. It's been a while, and people just remember the bad reviews and people being angry and stuff because they didn't get the ending that they wanted, but they got the ending they needed because, like, it is totally on theme for the entire show, and it is really good.
I would say Lost was good in spite of J.J. Abrams and its mystery box. I would say.
Right.
And there is a lot of spite.
There's a lot of mystery boxes, but actually, everything is explained in the show. But you just have to, like, you have to freaking watch it, right? And actually, like, you have to binge it. That was the problem, is we all watched it during serialization, right? We didn't watch it during the age of binging, which we're now in.
Which is bad for television, by the way.
But not bad for this series, is what I'm saying. This series, like, when you binge it, it all makes sense. And you're like, oh my god, this is such a pretty good show. Anyway, I'm going to go get my coffee. Have you started your screen sharing yet? Are you doing your thing?
Yes, I have!
I'm getting my coffee. I'm in my brand new kettle. My god, there's so much water in this kettle. And I still have some left
Apparently, there is water in the kettle. Who would have thought?
I could fill up an entire water bottle. I don't even have to make 3 trips to the kettle. Wah! Okay. Before we make sense.
before we begin this week, I would like to once again thank you, our beautiful, cute, and generous host, for allowing me to indulge into this madness.
I wanted to watch Lost, so you're welcome. I mean, play Lost. I mean, something to do with Lost. I need more Lost in my life.
Speaking of Lost, could you change the category? Because we're not doing Lost right now.
I don't know about you. I'm pretty lost. Sure, whatever. What? Just chatting.
Just chatting should suffice.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. Once again, we agreed on this, and but
I'm keeping the
it's
title.
hard. It's hard to communicate with you when you only talk to me on the day
Oh no,
itself.
Tomako down. Use an iPad, Eliana. To access Twitch network itself is up. Tomako can't access it because she's a bot. Oh no. Is a bot anything like a dingus? If it is, I understand. I've been in this situation before. Prison media. I understand your pain. Okay, we just here.
Okay. So whenever you're ready, 34th best Digi player? I've lost
Bot is
count.
much like a dingus. I assume there are some differences that we all become clear in time. When I study your research. Okay. I can't get
You also have stream starting soon, still on screen.
The music of Lost is amazing too. Like you all don't understand. Lost is good actually. I need to make a video explaining just how good it is and why you.
Okay, so there is a guy on YouTube,
No,
which
no
is
influence,
called
just Melly.
it's I forget what it's called, but he made several videos about Lost, and each of them is on average 6 hours long. So it's a lot. Anyway, so does it work? Let's see.
There are 50 slides. Sorry, I mean continue.
Okay, like I said, I will go very fast, and I worked a lot for this week. But most of them, I have very little to say about most of them, because we are more in the middling part. But I'll try to go fast as promised. Anyway, are we ready? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Professor
Okay.
Numaman.
All right. We'll do this. Everyone, welcome back to Mad Dog Die Masters Super Duper Awesome Tacular Creature Collector Games ranking, presentation, and whatnot. You know the drill. Let's just go quickly through the next 15 entries into this presentation. I'm sorry, did I say 15? I meant 17. I miscounted. Number 17. This is Koromon. Koromon, released in 2022. It is a throwback to the Game Boy Advance era of Pokemon video games. If you liked that a particular GBA aesthetic and you like Pokemon games, this is exactly that, but a lot harder and more challenging. It has its own uniquely designed creatures, obviously, but other than that, I don't have much to say about it. It's well made, but that's about it. Number 16. See how fast that was?
Yeah, that was pretty fast.
Biomorph. Now, this is interesting. This came out last year in 2024. It is actually a Hollow Knight style Metroidvania with an interesting shtick. In it, you are a little creature who goes around doing Metroidvania things. You know how it is: backtracking, slaughtering enemies, side-scrolling and platforming, the usual Metroidvania conventions. But you have something new to add to the mix. The creatures that you kill enough of them that you eventually collect their essences, and you can transform into a creature. This is stretching a little bit the definition of creature collector, but you are effectively collecting creatures and you are transforming into them. They will help you go through various environments, smashing walls, smashing other enemies, teleportation, a triple jump. They are working essentially as additional gameplay elements and additional limited power-ups. So that is interesting. The game is fine, also fine. We are in the fine category of games at this stage in the ranking. It didn't exactly set my world on fire, but I still completed it 100%. That's it. Number 15.
Monster Rancher.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. So this is the remake of the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games
Also, I
for the
feel like
Nintendo
Pokemon
DS.
should just be in its own category.
Yes, well, I didn't play much in terms of Pokemon games, so they are included all in this list.
Yeah.
So Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. Mystery Dungeon is a long-running series done by Spike Chunsoft, and they started off as a spin-off crossover with Dragon Quest. They eventually became a crossover with Pokemon, hence Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which is the game that I'm told has awakened a lot of other kin and Therian and furries in general, which does not surprise me considering the premise is that a human gets isekai'd as a Pokemon into the Pokemon world, and they are immediately very fine with the change. The style of Mystery Dungeon gaming is that it's a turn-based, grid-based movement and dungeon crawling, and there are you it's a roguelike, so if you die, you have to start from the beginning. And in this case, the beginning is just the beginning of a single dungeon, thankfully. You go around, you kill enemies in a turn based combat fashion, you collect resources, you avoid floor traps, and you recruit other Pokemon to join in your ranks. So it's a creature collecting game, but you're also one of the creatures who are collecting other creatures.
Hmm.
So that's Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX. It's very colorful. The remake specifically, I'm talking about the remake. It's very colorful. It has a nice little music, aesthetically pleasing, a very storybook illustration style and vibe to it. It's cute, generally speaking. I am not a fan personally of the Mystery Dungeon style of combat and exploration, but it has its own je ne sais quoi, so to speak. Number 14. Monster Hunter Stories and Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. It's a tie between the two Monster Hunter Pokemon spin-offs. I say Pokemon spin-offs because have you ever played Monster Hunter, Melody?
No, I've never played Monster Hunter.
Okay, neither have I, but I did play Monster Hunter Stories, which is basically the game spin-off series that asks you, what if instead of killing the monsters and wearing them, you collect them and have them fight alongside you? And you also kill monsters and wear them, but that's Monster Hunter for you. I don't have much to say about these games. They are fine and they are fun. They have an interesting system in which if you want to capture a monster, first you have to find its nest, you have to collect the eggs in the nest, and then you have to hatch the egg, and you get a monster. And the monster fights alongside you, as I said. The combat system is interesting because you could synchronize your attack with your monster. There are attacks that are there are specific categories of attacks that are stronger or weaker compared to other styles of attack. And if you happen to hit your enemy monster with an attack that's stronger than what it has installed, say for example, speed beats strength based attacks, you get an advantage in that encounter and you cancel the monster's attack while you attack it. And if the monster is attacking one of you, either you or your ally, and you both can counteract with a move that's stronger than its own attack, then you do a combined move that's ultra devastating. It's a very fun and neat combat system. I don't have much to say about the stories in Monster Hunter Stories, ironically, and the two games are extremely interchangeable in that sense. You played one, you played the other one. Not much in terms of variety there. Maybe the second game has more monsters, but I played that one when it came out in 2022 on the Nintendo Switch. Then I played the original game as it was ported on Steam, on the Steam Deck. I did not notice a difference. So that's why I'm doing this as a tie. Monster Hunter Stories and Monster Hunter Stories 2. Okay, we're going very fast. So next one.
Monster
Are
Hunter.
you still with me?
I'm still with you.
Okay.
Monster Hunter.
Number 13.
Bloodstained.
Okay. Did you see that?
I did indeed.
Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. So, hear me out here. The man himself, Iga, the one who directed Castlevania Symphony of the Night and all those other Castlevania games for the Game Boy Advance, such as Aria of Sorrow, created his own studio in about a decade ago, and crowdfunded this game, Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. I played it in 2019 when it came out, and on the PlayStation 4. It is very much a classic Metroidvania game, once again, the definition of a creature collector game is being stretched here, but I've already included Biomorph. So here's what you do in Bloodstained. You have your regular skills, your regular RPG elements, leveling up, action. You have your exploration, as it is wont to do with a Metroidvania. You also can collect the souls or shards of the monsters that you kill, which then can become abilities for you to use, much like in Folklore, if you recall. I believe this is something that this particular style of games have been doing since the Game Boy Advance era, so there is nothing new here, but you do get to collect a lot of creatures. There is a fairy that once she's out, she heals you. There is a possessed evil book that can manifest itself as a armor of some kind that protects you from attacks while doing damage to attacking enemies at a close range. You have the Medusa heads, the classic Medusa heads, and they are basically a long distance attack. There are a lot of neat ideas at play here. And the game is the kind of game that allows you to go bonkers with the kind of inane actions that you can pull. And let me give you an example of that. So here I am. I activate Zawarudo! Time stopped. I am hitting this hapless enemy with diamond bullets from my magic gun, while the fairy that's out here is also attacking it for good measure. All the while, time has stopped because I made the JoJo reference.
Alright.
This was a boss. This was a boss, by the way. So yes, this is just a mere example of the kind of insane things that you can do in this game. And I do love me a game that allows me to experiment and min-max everything I can possibly get my hands on.
Yeah.
Now here's a fun Easter egg.
Cinder and blight veil the air, bring the night, and your eyes they close, sweet repose.
So if you capture the fairy and you have her out in this particular screen with the piano and you start playing the piano, the fairy will sit on the piano and start singing.
What happens if you got anyone else?
Now this is an Easter egg specifically to the fairy.
Oh, so other Easter eggs for other critters? Or...
Oh, this game is chock full of Easter eggs. There is a secret level that brings you into classic 8-bit Castlevania. But it cannot be called the Castlevania, so it's a sort of a bootleg version of it because Castlevania is owned by Konami. But this is a game that came to be specifically as a tribute and homage to the Symphony of the Night, post Symphony of the Night generation of Castlevania games. And once again, it was directed by the man himself, Iga, the guy who directed the Symphony of the Night. This is a game, if you really, really like Metroidvania, and you specifically like the campy and gothic aspect of the aesthetic of those games. So yes.
Years go by.
I should also mention that it's very fun to play. It might seem a bit clunky at first, but once it clicks, it never lets go. Anyway, moving on to number 12. La Poussière Tactics. La Poussière Tactics. You know, La Poussière Tactics. Okay, so I almost entirely forgot about this game. Well, no, that's not true. I never forgot about this game. It is near and dear to my heart, but I've only recently realized that, oh dear, this is actually a creature collecting video game. I never put two and two together. Simply because you have your main party, you have your main party of human characters, and then you have your monster parties, and then you have your monsters, which you recruit by beating them in a very specific way during one of the maps. This is a tactical RPG, by the way. So it's very similar to what Fate Tactics will end up becoming in that sense. Let me give you a visual example. This is a typical map in La Poussière Tactics. You played a strategy RPG, so you know what you are looking here. You know what's happening here. You have your units on the map, and you're fighting a couple of monsters, and you can indeed recruit the monsters that you capture during a fight. Now, what's important here to point out is that for many, La Poussière Tactics is a weird footnote in history. it is considered the game that Nippon Ichi made before the first Disgaea. Disgaea was the game changer in the tactical RPG niche in that sense. And La Pucial Tactics came out 1 year before Disgaea. Disgaea is not important for this particular list, and it is something that will require its own anthology, but I will not be doing that. But regardless, nevertheless, La Pucial Tactics is, in fact, a creature collecting video game. It's a bit dated by today's sensibilities, especially with Disgaea coming out the following year. But it's still a very solid, well-programmed game, and I have a lot of nostalgic feelings towards it. The story is surprisingly powerful for what it is about, and yes, there is a new version of this game on Steam with additional content and bonus features and scenarios. If you're ever in the mood for a good old-fashioned classic tactical RPG that already had a lot more life-improving features compared to Final Fantasy Tactics, for example, then I would recommend checking this out.
Okay.
Anyway, number 11. I can explain.
Yes.
I swear, I can explain. I can explain. Let me explain, woman! Okay. So this is for the past couple of weeks, as I was working on this list and on this ranking, I started replaying Fey Tactics. You might recall this was featured in the special mentions originally, right? Because I didn't know where to put it in the final ranking. Well, now I know where to put it. It's just shy of the top 10 because of its more questionable, unsavory elements, of which I discovered more, by the way. But on the other hand, this is still one of the best tactical RPGs I have ever played. It's easily in the top 3, mind you. It's very good. It plays very, very well. And they must have patched it between now and the time in which I've originally played it on PC, because it plays much better. It goes a lot faster. A few of the bosses that I used to think were too hard or too tedious were managed a lot faster this time around. Maybe I knew what I was doing, but also I think they must have rebalanced everything. The end result is a game that I love very, very much, but also a game that it's hard to recommend or to talk about for reasons I've already established 2 weeks ago. Let me go real fast into this. There is an evil empire, evil, theocratic, fascist empire that's doing outspoken Nazi-style genocide on a bunch of minorities and oppressed demographics. And for some reason, this theocratic fascist empire is made of black people, which thought at the time was a bit tone deaf. You know what else is tone deaf? I found, for the first time, I found a bonus level that's just an extermination camp. And I do mean a very specific callback to the old Nazi extermination camps. There are piles of bones, of corpses. There are corpses, piles of bones, all piled up in small mounds. And we have boss fights on top of those bones, which is once again a bit inappropriate, a bit tone deaf, I would say. Also, there is a monster in this game that's called a Wendigo, which is the typical wrong appropriation of Native American culture. Everybody has done that, unfortunately. And then I discovered a slur. There is an item, an equipable talisman in this game that has a slur in its name. And it's the slur that was reserved for the Romani people. You know which one. I'm not going to say it. You could
Yeah, I knew
defend.
what you're talking about. You're talking about
I mean, listen,
dinguses.
I knew. Listen, I will say this. You could theoretically defend all of these individual choices to some extent. After all, the G slur has only recently been recognized as a slur, and it's not as popularly recognized as a slur as I or anyone else would like it to be. But at some point, you have to draw the line because there are a lot of there are a lot of decisions and choices that have been there are a lot of decisions and choices that have been made in this game that, when accumulated in such a manner, don't paint a very flattering image. But I still love this game in spite of its flaws, hence why I am stopping it just shy of the top 10. I hope I have made my position here clear. It's problematic art, but I still enjoy it, like an old TV show that might have not aged too well. Even though this is a game from 2020. But regardless, let's move on to the top 10, everybody. We made it to the top 10.
Hey.
And number 10 is Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Well, I'm being cheeky here. It's not exactly the entire game that I am putting on the top 10. No, it's just the Sugimon League. Tell me, Melody, when you look at this picture, what does it look like?
Fortnite.
you know, now that I'm looking at it, I see it, but no. So Sugimon is a side quest or side content for the massive content mill that is Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Are you familiar with the Yakuza and Like a Dragon series, Melody?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure, I'm going to assume everybody's familiar with that.
Very
So in
familiar.
Infinite Wealth, there is, in fact, a side quest that will have you collect or recruit Sugimon, which is just men, and they fight for you in Sugimon battles. You recruit them by giving them by gifting them a chocolate box and begging them to join you. And I'm impressed by what was displayed here, because Like a Dragon already has its own well realized turn based combat system that was based on the action combat system that the larger Yakuza series used to have. But the developers went out of their way to create a specific original combat system for the Sugimon themselves. The end result was an entire afternoon of me having the time of my life. Sugimon is more of a neat idea than a fully realized video game, but what has been showcased here to me has the potential to be brilliant. I would not mind playing an entire game dedicated exclusively to the Sugimon. But here's what you do. You have your Sugimon League, because of course you do, it's a Pokemon parody. You recruit this Sugimon, which is usually just man in a bathing suit, or man wearing a bear skin, or man in a magical girl cosplay. They're all men. You're collecting men, and you're having this man fight in a battle system that's partly turn-based, but also partly live action.
You know,
Essentially,
that sounds similar to something your ancestors did, Mad Hog. I believe
in
they.
what way?
Well, I believe they were called gladiators.
Okay, so that's
That's
sure.
different because
I
why?
don't think. I don't think gladiator. I don't. Okay, I don't think gladiators fought in this way specifically.
Oh no
That
no
is
no!
to
So
say,
if I am to understand this correctly, you go around collecting men. You then make
yes, you're
these men
collecting men.
fight for your amusement.
Basically, I
Explain to
mean,
me how this is different from gladiators.
the protagonist. I mean, you could. I mean, the difference is that they are not slaves. They are choosing to join you in exchange for a chocolate box.
Oh,
But
sure,
I see
sure.
your point.
The Italians offer chocolate boxes, and then with the no, I don't know. This bit has run its course. Continue.
Thank you. So the battle system is this: there is a free on free battle grid, free versus free. You have free in the reserve that you can exchange for the free that are occupying the frontal position. The initiative is determined by the collective speed of the free person's team on the front. And when it's your turn to strike, you can have one person in your team, one Sugimon, I should say, in your team, strike the opposing team. So there is an element of strategy not only in the positioning of your Sugimon, but also in how fast they are in acting. Of course, this is well and good in theory, but then I just realized I can brute force pretty much everything by having a very, very strong Sugimon that I lucked out in getting at the front at all times. If there is one element that is annoying about Sugimon, is that while there is, in fact, a way to capture them in the wild, most of the times you will be engaging with a gacha machine in order to win the Sugimon. So yes, there are gacha mechanics here for capturing the Sugimon, like it as if it were some kind of mobile game. It's not, thankfully, but it's still a bit annoying having to engage with that one. But regardless, that one afternoon in which I have completed the entire Sugimon League is the most fun I've had with a video game in a long time. It's very good, but it is still not technically a complete game, which is why it's number 10 and not, say, number 9, 8, or 7, and so forth. Okay?
Hmm.
You have a bot in chat.
Okay. We don't discriminate. Welcome, but I hope you have a nice life and you get some coffee in you.
I believe Princess Amelia has mod privileges, but she's having issues with her network or computer or whomever Tomoko is.
Tomoko is her compy.
Okay.
Just like how my car is called Oscar.
Weird, but okay, I'll accept it. Number 9, everybody. Now, Melody, I know what you might be asking to yourself right now. You're probably expecting a certain game to pop out, and you might be wondering
Monster
where.
Rancher!
No,
God.
a certain Digimon game, right? You might be
Oh,
wondering
Golden Sun.
when. I'm going to ignore that. When is it going to pop out? Well,
Bomberman
Melody,
Tournament.
I'm so glad you asked all those questions, because number 9 is Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth slash Hacker's Memory. I'm going to say it's a tie because they are technically two distinguished video games.
Mm.
Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that these games are masterpieces. They aren't. They are mediocre at best, infuriating at worst. That time in which you couldn't progress in the game because you didn't know you had to sit on a couch, yes, still stands out in my mind. And I'll be and to be perfectly honest, I did struggle at first with the requirements to digivolve Digimon, your Digimon, the stat economy, the awful stat economy with which you had to engage. But I don't know if it's the cost sunk fallacy talking here. I don't know if it's being on the other end of an abusive relationship talking here, but I've come to like this game. Did I mention that I have completed this game? As in, I have gotten all 341 Digimon that there are to get in both of these games combined? Did I mention that?
Mm.
I might have mentioned that a couple of times, but I did it. I absolutely did it. Let me brag about it. Look at this. Look at this. It's everything. Everything. It's everyone and everything. Look at this. Look at what I have here.
I see
Just
it.
to showcase a couple. Just to showcase a couple. I cannot believe I did this to myself. Eventually, when everything clicked into place and I was in a good enough position to pursue this goal, I never quite have been able to let this game go. It took me years and over 300 and something hours, but I did get everyone and everything. It's one of those games where you learn the best way and most efficient way to properly do what you set out to do. I found out that the best grinding spot in the entire duology was that one final stop before the final boss in Cyber Sleuth. And the fastest way to grind your Digimon was to have a Platinum Numemon on the main team. And then, of course, there is the entire ordeal with the Abistat and the what's the other one? What's the other weird one? The Abistat and all the other stats. The way you have to engage by the way you have to power up stats individually by giving them fruits or training or having them digivolve or de-digivolve constantly. An ordeal that took hundreds, literally hundreds of hours. But I did it. And I came out of the other way with a deeper appreciation for what these games are doing and the way they force you to engage and the way they force you to enter in the mindset for the grind. So, yes, I'm not going to say that they are good exactly, but I ended up liking them more and more as time went on.
Mm.
Do you have that game, Melody? That kind of game that which you didn't particularly like at first and were extremely frustrated, but you somehow stuck by it and ended up liking it as a result,
Yeah, it was Digimon World 1.
then you understand my predicament here.
Oh, I'm just so sorry about your comfy, Princess Amelia. I'm really sorry. Number
I'm sorry
8.
to hear.
Monster Rancher.
Number 8.
Monster
What-
Rancher.
Dragon Quest V,
Yeah.
Hand of the Heavenly Bride, specifically the Nintendo DS remake, which is the one I played. I quite literally do not have the time to truly go in depth and detail as to how inspiring and important Dragon Quest V, let alone Dragon Quest as a series, was for Japan and for everything you know and love about creature collecting video games to this very day. But it is damn important. Dragon Quest V, originally released in 1992 and then remade in 2008 by Arte Piazza, was by far the most popular entry in the Dragon Quest series, and that is saying a lot. Inspired generations upon generations of avid gamers as well as developers. We wouldn't have basically anything that we enjoy today in terms of RPGs, or indeed, if you like Pokemon, you wouldn't have Pokemon if these games didn't exist. Dragon Quest in particular, Dragon Quest V in particular, is the direct influence to Pokemon. Because in that game, you can recruit monsters. Sometimes it's the most it is the most traditional RPG you can fathom. You go around, you have dungeons, you have an overworld, you have dungeons, you have monsters, you fight them in a first-person battle grid. Of course, there is the character design and monster design of legendary Akira Toriyama, which grants a level of perennial charm which is timeless to everything that it touches. The monsters are iconic, each and every one of them. And now, Dragon Quest V allows you to recruit those monsters, those iconic monsters. It took them long enough to catch up to what Megami Tensei was already doing at the time, but when we finally got here, it was memorable, a memorable experience. Sometimes, when you defeat monsters in battle, they might want to spontaneously join you. So, in a way, it is similar to what Yokai Watch will eventually do, but it works much better here in a much older game. And you will need a lot of those recruits and monsters to help you out because the final boss is very hard. But you can bring them around in caravans and you can switch them up during battle. At least you could in the Nintendo DS. And like I said, there is a lot more here to say about Dragon Quest V, but we do not have the time to do so. So I'm just going to say that you should play Dragon Quest V at least once in your life. If you have to play just one Dragon Quest game in your whole entire life, and only one, let it be Dragon Quest V. I have spoken. Number 7.
Monster Rancher. If Monster Rancher is not first place on this list, I am going to be very disappointed at this 9-hour presentation.
Thank you. Well, it's not.
That's okay. We all know it's Bomberman Tournament or Golden Sun.
Okay. So Pokemon Moon was the
It better
first...
not be Pokemon. You better not put Pokemon as the number one collectathon.
This is the last... No, I would never. Generally speaking, I think Pokemon is a bit mediocre. This is the highest position a Pokemon game will occupy on my ranking. This is the last one in the list, in fact.
Okay.
It is also the first real Pokemon game I've played. I don't count Pokemon Conquest in this. This is what many consider the last good Pokemon game, Pokemon Moon and Sun, I should say. Um, it's fine, actually. I think I liked it quite a lot. As far as first experiences with Pokemon style games would go, this was a strong impression. I liked the presentation, I enjoyed the gameplay. I was sort of invested in the world and the setting to a degree. I enjoyed playing it, and at the end of the day, that's all you want from a good video game, to enjoy it to some degree or the other. It was fun, it was fine, and nothing that ever followed it could possibly live up to the days in which Pokemon was on a Nintendo DS or Nintendo 3DS console. As soon as they made the switch to the Switch, there was an instant degrading quality that everybody noticed, and this game just looks better than what modern Pokemon games look like. They have this modern Pokemon games, they have this weird porcelain sheen to it, to the way the characters look, the way they are lighted and everything. They look like plastic toys in a way. The crunchiness of a 3DS Pokemon game, on the other hand, has more of an authentic, lived in feeling to it, if that makes sense to you. It's more aesthetically pleasing, less corporate driven. Again, from a presentation standpoint, they are just nicer to behold. If I have one criticism about Pokemon Moon, and it's more of a observation than a criticism, is this is the game that introduced the
Oh, you can pet the dog.
yeah, this is the game that introduced the grooming Pokemon segment, which felt a bit weird because a lot of these Pokemon are very human, anthropomorphic shaped, like Salazzle, who has this voluptuous hourglass shape, which I don't mind, but it is weird that you can pet and rub them on every inch of their body.
Yeah.
I think there is a reason why this feature was severely underplayed in future games. I think they must have realized it's a bit freaky. I don't want to judge here, but but I suspect that somebody at Game Freak was living up to the freak moniker. Good for them, I would say. Good for them. It was a bit weird, for me at least. It had better not have awakened anything in me. Number 6! Okay, let's pause for a second here. We're getting to the big ones here. To the really big ones. Are you still with me, Melody?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to get everybody excited because okay, this is one of my favorite games of all time, almost in spite of it. I'm going to showcase to you number 6 now. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I will explain. Are you familiar with the Xenoblade series?
No.
Or I guess by extension, Xenosaga, Xenogears? You have never heard of them?
No.
Well, I would recommend to check Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3. And there is an upcoming Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is a remake. But I am not getting distracted here. I love this series. These are some of the best RPGs I've ever played, some of the best RPGs ever made, I would say. It's great. And by all intents and purposes, it is a creature collecting video game. But it is also stretching the definition here, because in this game you have blades. Blades is the term reserved to warriors, I should say, humans, people, sometimes they're animals, entities that you can summon and you can link them to your soul and they will fight for you. Imaging stands from JoJo or the personas from Persona. Similarly, they work similarly to that, mechanically speaking, but they all are people with their own identities, personalities, quirks, flaws, and a history. So Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has a bit of a tone issue, because a good chunk of it will be lighthearted humor and anime hijinks, and then at some point it reveals itself to you. It is a game about cultural genocide, literal genocide, oppression, and slavery. And it's using the game mechanics of how blades are obtained and treated from a narrative standpoint. It is using that very basic idea and setting to comment on all of these topics. It's not doing the best job at it because, like I said, it has a bit of a tonal issue here and there, but it is a game that I love a lot. It's a bit idiotic and frustrating at times. Once again, there is a gacha system here to get most of the blades, which is inane. But what you do get is brilliant, because aside from many generic blades, you also get unique rare blades. In the base game, there are 30 rare blades. Those blades are characters designed by guest artists. So they all look different and weird, and sometimes they don't fit with the aesthetic of the game, but it is very cool that they are here. Each and every one of those blades, they have their own skill tree, which this is an example of a skill tree in this game. And once you reach a certain tier of the skill tree, you may be able to unlock a blade specific quest. Yes, there are side quests upon side quests in this game, and even the blades get their own side quests. 30 unique blades in the base game with their own side quests. And you learn about them, their backstory, and who they are as people. And sometimes they are good, sometimes they aren't as good. But it was fun. I have 300 hours in this game. This is Nia. She's a character in the game. I just think she's neat. I love her so much. And did I mention that the English dub for the Xenoblade games is loudly British? And I'm not just saying British in the TV, prestige TV sense, which is inauthentic. I mean that every voice actor in the game is from a region of Britain. There are Cockney actors, and there are Welsh actors, Scottish actors. Some might have been from Yorkshire as well. And they all get to voice with their authentic accents, and it makes for a memorable audio experience. This cat girl here, Nia, she is Welsh, and she is great. She rules. I love her so much. Look at that smug face. Just look at her.
It's pretty smart.
Isn't she perfect? She's perfect. I love her. Anyway, so as I said, this game had 30 rare blades that you can get in a gacha game, basically, but they all have their own unique quests. And at some point, when I played this game, I did make a ranking system for. I did make a ranking for all of those quests. Now, obviously, we don't have the time to go through them here because that would be insane. But so we should just move on. Anyway, welcome to Mad Dog Masters, super duper awesome tacular Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Rare Blades Quest ranked worst from best. Let's go. Number 30, number 29, number 28, number 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 3. This was a trilogy of quests. 2, no, wait, 6, 5, and 4, sorry. A trilogy of quests, this one was. 3, 2, and number 1.
Ah, what you gonna do about it?
Divine punishment!
Are you sufficiently confused?
It seems to
Uh,
be one.
Okay, so like I said, I love this game. Well, some aspects of it are insufferable, but so my relationship with Xenoblade Chronicles has been complicated because I did not enjoy the first one. I dropped off of it. I played it when it came out originally on the Nintendo Wii. I liked the second one, even though it frustrated me occasionally. I mentioned the gacha machine. There is a lot of grinding if you want to unlock all of the quests that you want to see. And then there is the third game in the series, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is probably the best RPG ever made. It is a masterpiece. It is impeccable. It is brilliant. It is good in all the way anything can be good. It's that damn pleasing of an experience, let me tell you. I have told you. And you can recruit allies in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but I decided not to count it because because there is a dynamic when it comes to creature collecting video games. The dynamic being that you are the trainer and you are collecting creatures or animals that serve you. It is an unfortunate dynamic once you go and explore it. And it is exactly that sort of dynamic that became the basis by which Xenoblade Chronicles 2 developed. It's commenting on the fundamental dehumanizing nature of the creature collecting formula while also applying it to a story that's about dehumanization, as it were. It's not doing the best job at it, but I appreciate the attempt. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has a completely different dynamic because every character in that game, every single character in that game, they are the slaves. And the whole game is about breaking the cycle of violence that only benefits those who are profiting from it, which is to say, the social elite.
Okay.
It's very good. So anyway, I'm going to move on from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. On to
Monster Ranch.
number 5.
Monster Ranch.
Actually, let me start from the beginning here. Number 5.
Cassette Beasts. Yeah. We were actually playing this game. It was pretty good. A friend of mine suggested that I play it. Then we started doing
Can you repeat that? You were I think the
was
music
saying-
was covering you up.
I was saying that this is a good game. We were actually playing it, but then we got into a ranking video about monster collecting things that has lasted more than 8 hours, Mad Hog.
I did warn you, didn't I? Several times.
I still don't know why you didn't just make this as a video on your channel. Wow, beasts. Yes, beasts of cassettes, man. Meet automaton.
Because that would have taken a lot longer to do so, and I would have lost interest.
Oh, so you crash my streams to do you? Okay, yes, okay, it's very good, and you got you remix monsters and stuff. It's really cool, and you are the monster technically in different cassettes, and yes, it's very nice.
Yes. So
Very
this game is a vibe. This game is a vibe. It's an atmosphere. It's a way of life. It's an incredibly cool video game. Not cool in a superficial way like, say, Persona is with its fashion sense and everything. This is legitimately cool with its ideas and its setting and its story. And the way it subverts your expectations. Because you go into this game thinking that you're going to play a Pokemon-style game, but that was a trick, a sleight of hand. What you're actually in for is a Shin Megami Tensei game, but good. You are in this island, which is based... You are in this island, which is a reference to the Green Knight poem, and you are fighting not just any monsters, you're fighting creatures that come out of that are a manifestation of the subconscious mind of humans, and you also have actual humans that are misplaced in time. There is a group of Greek philosophers in this island too, and you have to leave the island. It's lost. It's basically lost, but with magic and creatures.
Yes, the Lost.
It's so nice. It's so cool. I love it. The music, you're hearing it right now. The music is so good. It is so good. I cry and shed tears every time I listen to this song in particular. My gosh. I like it aesthetically. The only part of it that did not click with me was the combat system. Ironically, I don't think I've ever wrapped my head around it. I ended up brute forcing it most of the times. You have to have a knowledge in basic chemistry to make sense of all the elemental strengths and weaknesses and all the additional side effects that a elemental attack might have on something, because you might weaken an enemy, but you might accidentally power them up if you hit them the wrong way. So I ended up instead making do with alternative means by engaging with the customization aspect of your beasties, of your monsters. And I have a lot of enemies that I have a lot of units that can do auto attacks now, which is great. I have, of course, poisons and fire attacks. and all of the good old-fashioned status-inducing attacks. It's it's good. It's not great. It could have been an all-time great game, but it stops at number 5 for me. By the way, it's a British game, Melody.
I know.
Number 4.
Monster Hunter.
Close enough. You were close enough this time. It's Monster Sanctuary. Have you ever heard of this one?
No.
This flew a bit under the radar. It's yet another Metroidvania game, but it's more hybridal this time around. It is a hybrid between Metroidvania in the way you explore and interface with the world, but it is also a turn-based strategy game. It is a very, very, very involved strategy game. Let me put it this way. This is the screen, this is the pre-combat screen, and you have to memorize each one of your monsters and also enemy monsters' strengths and weaknesses. But that's not all. That's the basic element. What you have to do is also pay attention to team synergy, because each and every creature has its own skill tree, and you have to make sure that they complement each other. For example, a monster might be able to cause bleeding, but you have another monster in your party that can whose attack might become critical if the monster is already bleeding. So you have to take into consideration several aspects of your team formation. You can't just go in and play it casually. This is deeply involved and very, very difficult. But once it clicks, you will find yourself enjoying one of the most unique experiences when it comes to creature collecting video games.
Okay.
But that's not really the reason why it's in my. But that's not really the reason why it's ranked number 4. This is the team with which I beat the game. There is a cat warrior with a sword. There is an abominable snowman. There is some kind of bison here. This is a succubus fox. A fox and a succubus
And a tanuki.
fused together. There is a tanuki, and this is my starter, which is a fire lion, and I think he's neat. Now here's my strongest team. This is my goblin squad. Every member is a goblin. And there is a good reason to have a goblin squad, because that means that it's great, because you can have. They become strong.
Because they power each other up. It's like buffs, it's like synergy. I get it.
Yes, it turns out that goblins have an advantage in battle when there are other goblins in the same party. So, goblin squad is a no-brainer in that sense.
Yeah.
And finally, hey Melody, guess who published this game?
Game Freak. Oh. Right.
This game was published by Team 17, and
Right.
worms. The worms are a secret monster in the game that you can get.
Neat.
I have my worm team over here. So Monster Sanctuary, the developers of Monster Sanctuary, Morai Games, are coming out with a new game this year, of which I played the demo. It's called Ethermancer, and by the looks of it, it is just as difficult and involved as Monster Sanctuary is. But on top of that, it's also a roguelike. I played the demo, as I said, and it's a bit weird, but it's interesting.
Cool.
Anyway, moving on to
Monster
number 3.
Hunter.
Nexomon. and Nexamon Extinction. Okay, real quick. Nexamon is perhaps the best Pokemon style game out there. It is the pinnacle of what it sets out to be, which is to say, a game like Pokemon. It starts off as a parody of Pokemon, lots of annoying fourth wall metatextual jokes, but it eventually evolves into its own mythology and narrative with stakes as high as the sky above us. The less you know about it, the better.
Okay.
I actually like them a lot, but I would say Nexamon 1 was originally a mobile game that was then eventually ported on other platforms. It plays very well, and it's actually the least grindy of the two. Nexamon Extinction is a bit worse in that regard, but it is a lot better in terms of the world, the setting, and the narrative. Somewhere in the middle between these two games, there is the perfect Pokemon style video game, and I am a fan. Now, it's time finally for number 2, and under normal circumstances, I would be talking your ear off. But instead, I'm flipping the script here, and I'm going to let the game speak for itself.
Monster Ranch card. Monster Rancher. Oh yeah, it's kind of cute.
Amazing, aren't they? Half bug, half snack. A very recently discovered species, entirely unique to this island. Oh, this one's lively. Beautiful seed patterns. Oh, and it's tasty too. Welcome to the island of bug snacks.
Find a bug and kind of snack. Try to catch it in your trap. Feed somebody and you'll see we are whatever we eat. Find them hiding in the sand, tearing up a ketchup patch. Come to snack to Island and discover it's bug snacks. It's bug snacks. Talking about bug snacks. It's bug snacks.
So it's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the game.
My invitation is open. Come join me on the island of bug snacks.
Liz! I was trying to carry a lamp with my weenie hands, but I dropped it, and now the town's on fire.
Oh, again?
It's bug snacks.
No way. Holy ships.
Right. Can I get a banger in chat? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to provide context to anything you just watched. All I'm going to say is,
I'm
yes?
curious. Yeah, I might play this game.
I am going to say, in fact, I was going to say, in fact, you should play this game.
Yeah,
Play this game.
I may play this game.
Play this game.
I'm gonna play Lust.
This game is good.
I'm gonna be playing
Play
Lust.
this game. Okay. And finally. And
No.
number 1.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's Monster Rancher. I knew it. Oh man hug. Oh, this time you was just having me on, but it was Monster Rancher all along. I see you've got it on the screen right now. Oh my goodness. Well, I think we can finally put to rest this monster collectathon thing, and thank you Thank you, everybody, for coming to. It's been a long
Beastie
time.
Ball.
Okay, I'll take it off the screen and I'll do the real thing, and then I guess you weren't watching my stream, were you?
No, what were you doing?
Nothing. I'm just.
Okay.
We're just looking at what you picked as the #1 monster collecting game.
Let me see what you're up.
You
Melody.
don't need to look at it, but I mean,
Melody.
you got Shueisho, you got
Melody,
Tiger, Mochi.
Melody, I'll be done. I'll be done in less than 2 minutes. Come on. You're prolonging your suffering.
And you scan you put in your CD, you put in share, and share's a Shueisho. It's pretty cool. Okay, I'll put it. Okay.
The actual #1 is Beastie Ball. Beastie Ball is the best creature collector video game, and it's not even close. It's my best game of 2024. It is freaky. It is amazing. You wouldn't think that such an idea would have any legs. You take Pokemon, but you put them into an Into the Breach style strategy game, and they are playing volleyball. They're playing volleyball against each other, and it's the most fun, the most well-realized game of this genre that's ever been made, and I am not even exaggerating. It's that good. It is so much fun to play. The monster designs are impeccable. The plot and the setting is surprisingly dense, and it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
This is me. I am recreating myself as an avatar for this game.
Yeah.
This is me. This is me high-fiving one of my beasties before a big match.
Mm-hmm.
This is the main antagonist of the game, the Sports King. He's a rich twat who's basically holding everyone down for his whims, and the only way to take him out is to dismantle the very socio-political and economic system that maintains his existence.
Sure. Cool.
This is two of my teammates becoming lovers.
Nice.
Which can happen. This is artwork of one of the. This is artwork that becomes available once you have recruited and thoroughly studied a beastie.
Neat.
This is commentary.
Okay.
This is a dancing ballerina frog.
Okay.
This is me gushing more about this game because it's so good. It's from the developing team that gave us Wonder Song and Shikori.
Cool.
So they have creativity, they have imagination. This not only is it a fun game to play, but it is also impeccable from a flavor standpoint. The entire setting is so rich in background and history. There are volleyballs that grow naturally, organically off the ground, as if they were fungi. And you can pick them up, you can throw them at your beasties, and they start spontaneously volleying the ball to each other.
Okay.
There are several puzzles all throughout the world. The game doesn't tell you what they do, but once I pick up the ball and throw it at But once I realized I could use the volleyball to activate switches on the other side of a given map, an entire world opened up to me. All of a sudden, I realized that there were puzzles to solve and secrets to uncover, legendary creatures to discover, prehistoric ones, even exploration, combat, storytelling, character design, monster design. Everything about this game is impeccable. As far as I'm concerned, I love everything about it. And the best part of it, you're seeing this, release date 2024 and ongoing. The game is still in early access.
Okay.
It has everything. The only thing that's missing is a couple of assets for the monsters and a couple of relationship and a couple of scenarios with characters in the game with which you are pursuing relationship status. Otherwise, it has everything and beyond to make this the best creature collecting video game of all time, as far as my subjective list is concerned. And
Well,
that brings us, finally,
to
mercifully,
Monster.
to the end of this ranking.
Well,
I
so
tried
we
to
got
go through it as fast as I
Monster
possibly
Rancher
could.
was the top pick in the end, and I see why. I see why Mad Hawk is just, he's got potential. He's got legs. People just give it a chance. People just give Sony a chance. And then we could all play Monster Rancher. And
So on a final note here.
yeah.
So I sincerely hoped that by showcasing all these games to you in a very burdensome manner, I will admit, I might have brought attention to titles you might have otherwise overlooked, such as Monster Sanctuary or Cassette Beasts or
I
even La
played
Poussière
Cassette Beasts.
Tactics.
I like Cassette Beasts.
Cassette Beasts is very good. I'm talking to in general. I'm
Yeah.
talking to also chat, and also Bugsnax is
Yeah,
is a fantastic game. It is the kind of game that I don't want to say anything about it because it's one of those experiences that must be felt on your own skin without any prior knowledge. Because you might think you're getting something, but you're getting something that's entirely different, but not in a way you would expect something like this to be different. It's a whole rabbit hole. So these are my favorite and least favorite games in that particular category, ranked from worst to best. I've had controversial opinions, I've had neutral opinions, and I have just gushed out loud about my favorite game here. So there was something for everybody, I would assume. Thank you for joining me, everyone, with once again sincere apologies to our lovely host. I will make it up to you.
Mm.
Name a time and place.
Okay, well, okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna buy me every lost game ever made. And I'm gonna go on a tirade playing every lost game ever made.
Okay.
Mwah.
I will buy. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
So that's
trivia from Princess Amelia. I only ever played one Monster Collector, and it was Pokemon X. I never beat it. Well,
Princess Amelia, I hope that my ranking here will inspire you to try new things because there is a lot here to like.
I hope you give Monster Rancher a try.
I think you're the only one who likes Monster Rancher, Melody.
You gotta wrench them monsters. You might get a sway, so I can't make.
By the way,
promises.
I see that you have I had end credits, Melody, for the. But I see you have already put on unusual means here.
No, I can hide that. I can. Hang on. Going in. These end credits. Just see 'em.
Okay, well, and I shall leave you all with this little. I shall leave you all with this little distraction.
I'm gonna get copyright struck for this.
Bunger. Bunger, 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 bunger,
Very good.
bunger, 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 bunger. Bonger, 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 bonger.
So okay, so I
That
actually,
was
so
certainly
I know
one of the
I know for
videos of all
experience,
time. Pretty sus.
I know for experience that this does not get a copyright strike on YouTube. I tested this myself, but so yes, I should say that Bugsnax has some of the best vocal and audio direction any game has ever had. And Exhibit A is the voice actor for Bunger, the
Very nice.
burger Bugsnax. Yes. And with that, I salute you. Thank you for joining me, everybody. And we shall return to regularly scheduled programs from
Regularly
here on
scheduled
out.
memes. I'm
I
regularly
will
scheduled
not.
programs.
I will never do something like this again, or at
No,
least not
like
anytime
no,
soon.
like that wasn't the issue. That wasn't the issue, Mad Hawk. Like I'm sure that people would find it very. I did find parts of it interesting and stuff. What I'm saying is, next time you just make a video. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
conducive to Twitch streaming. This is 9 hours for the YouTube presentation. But it.
Well, if it helps, if it makes you feel any better, this will become a video eventually.
Yeah, I guess. And like, I don't know why, but like, I've got 3 viewers that tuned into this that wanted to stick around to hear it. I mean, they'll stick with me through anything, and I love them for it. I want to thank you guys for being around.
I think I managed to prove that the
Lamb.
presentation was entertaining at the very least.
Sorry, what?
I think the presentation I managed to prove was entertaining at the very least.
Yeah, it was. But I'm just saying that I think like this could have been like I don't know, like a video.
It could, yeah. I mean, I guess it could have been, but it's here's the problem with. I mean, I thought about it, but I am so burnt out on the whole video making thing that
you just wanted to
the change of pace and the platform has has helped me revitalize the this has been this platform that you have given me, and I am grateful for it, has helped me find passion in things again, because I've been struggling with a bit of the old depression.
It's okay. I'm
So-
like, uh, there were times when I was thinking, I can, yeah, I'm no good, but like, I don't know. I knew it was important to you, so yeah, I was just this is passive, not passive aggressive, passive sleepy. I don't know.
no, I know
Sorry.
you're a bit sleepy, but okay,
I was
yeah, okay. So
passive sleepy at times, and I want to
I promise
apologize
you.
for that.
Like I said, I once again, I'm grateful for what you have allowed me to do, for giving me this platform. I did not. I did when I started planning this out. I did not even fathom how long it could possibly be. I could not. I was hoping to get this done in 2 session stops, but you know how long last week was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I'm sorry that this took three streams to complete. Like I said, if I ever do this again, it will be on a much more resized manner, much smaller scale. But I'm glad it's out there now. So, but I know you can start with the unusual memes. It's technically your stream.
Unusual memes time. Okay, let's go. No! There we go. Okay.
What a bloody angry little bird.
Is that bird just singing Land of Cotton?
It seems so.
How much more of a circle can you be? It's a Burger King soft drink.
I don't even know what happened here. Was she supposed to break the star?
Buy this dress for formal tonight. I have to.
Roll time.
Let us all hold hands and block the traffic. Okay, here we
Ow. Ah, he's a little dwarf mouse.
Je sais même pas si ça passe.
So, Vorsicht, da kommt ein Fahrradfahrer. Hey, hallo! Stopp, Polizei!
The cat made the ball disappear. It's just magic. These sure are some unusual memes. Yes, they are, meat. Also, I still need to text you about the Glasgow Regionals. They coming. They coming.
That's animal abuse.
What?
Strawberry lemonade Sprite. I'm LeBron James. I want some strawberry lemonade Sprite. LeBron James.
Was that one of them NPC streamers? Maybe I should become an NPC streamer. I just
You are a you are a protagonist, Melody.
What is happening?
Oh, did you hear that?
Some fresh air. Yes, and then bird flying. Whoa! Oh no, water flying. I see. Ow. Aww. Aww, that is cute.
Hey, can you help me find Theater 7? Oh my god, yeah, of course, just follow me. Okay.
Oh, it's one of those. Oh no, it's not. I thought it was one of them rooms that got like smaller, but no. You better message me soon. Oh, I will. I played Cat Buckaroo back in the day. How much stuff can you put on a sleeping cat before it wakes up? You are playing with fire, Mrs. Yeesh. You are playing with primeval forces that you will one day have to reckon with. Also, the cat might be a bit angry. This is why dogs is better than cats. Right there. Right there. I'm pulling it back. Hang on. Look at it. Perfect 10 out of 10.
If a dog broke my door, I would be
No, it's
not
just
happy.
playing. It's just playing. I would literally say that a dog could burn down Parliament, and I would
I mean, if
obfuscate.
if it burned out Parliament, I think I would love. I mean, even
Well, I don't know.
what's
like,
the worst?
Or
What's the
maybe
worst
knocks
ani-
over lamp.
What's the worst animal?
And
Melody, what is the worst? What is the worst animal that you can think of? What is the animal
Cat.
you hate the most?
Cats.
Huh?
Cats.
If a cat burned down Parliament,
I would say
you
bad
love
cat.
it?
You bad cat. There was people that had important jobs in there. Cleaners. I would also support that dog. Yeah.
What do you mean? We have to figure out which.
Heck, even if we rebuilt the Library of Alexandria and made it a hard archive of the internet, and the dog accidentally burned it down, I'd just say it was playing. It was just playing. You know. But if a cat did it, my goodness.
If a dog ran for
I would
prime
also
minister
support
on
it.
the Tory side, would you still support it?
Well, it didn't know what it was doing. It was just playing.
Would you still support it?
It's a dog, of course I would. It didn't
So
know.
even if its policies are,
No,
I don't know.
I even support like not the use of police dogs, but I support the dogs themselves because they just doing a job. They're just doing what humans is asking them to do. They don't know. They just like I want to be helpful.
Quite bad. Feels like a brick.
They could be retrained. They're very smart dogs. You can retrain them to do something else, like help on a farm. Like I say, I don't support the use of them with the police. I would not support that dog. No. I mean the dog itself, right? If I was asked, so like, who's the bad guy there? I'd be the person. I'd say the person that's training the dog in the dark arts, right? But dogs are just they are loyal Padawans, right? They just absorb whatever the human's telling them. Okay, they just want to be friendos, and they think that they're doing the right thing.
You know, a cat would not listen to the police.
Oh, yeah, but a cat wouldn't listen to anybody.
And I respect that.
I don't.
Of course you wouldn't.
It was a sewing
you want
machine
a
battle.
mindless. You want a mindless follower.
No, hang on, whoa. Anyway, it's getting late. Good night. All right, no. Those class traitors in Paw Patrol are not allies. No, not all of them. Okay, right? Sure, Chase, right? Issues there, right? But they're sentient, right? And they can talk, right? They're not your typical dogs. Also, two of them, right? What's his name? Rubble. Is that his name? The one that just does construction. He's not a class traitor. He's no, he'd be building stuff and things. And,
Okay, what the hell
Marshall,
does
Marshall's just
even mean?
he'd be putting out fires. No, Marshall be putting out fires, and then there's the other dog. It's just all about recycling. I think he's new. And then there's the girl one whose only character trait I can surmise is that she's a girl, but she flies a plane, as dogs are prone to do without thumbs.
You know, Melody, when you get upset, you start sounding like you're from Boston.
No, you don't understand. You know when you could and you had a dream and you could think about and you could do and you could read and you could be anything, but also like no, like not all right. Hashtag not all Paw Patrol. Okay.
Oh no, we're getting to the hashtags, chat.
Right? Do not lump Chasing with the rest of them. They're doing some awesome stuff. They're building houses, they're putting out fires, and they're flying in the air for air-related episodes. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to the stream. I completely missed the unusual meme message, but thank you. And next week we're gonna do so much Lost, you ain't gonna even know what's going on.
I think. Oh, okay. So, Melody, if you want me to buy a game, and this is not a joke, by the way, if you want me to buy a game, just point me to it. I will buy it for you. Like I said, I think I owe you for this.
Lost.
So, okay, like I said, point me to it. Give me a link.
I honestly don't know. I need to look up the Lost games. I just downloaded the first one I could find that sounded kind of interesting. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to the stream. I love you all. I'm gonna get in my car now, and I'm gonna drive to a hotel and stay with my ma, and then wake up very early for breakfast and hope that they are running breakfast before I have to run to work. And yes, she said, "I love you all." Okay, goodbye, bye.
Good night.
Good night. Goodbye. Go there. That's it.